Welcome back to another video here from the Off-Grid Garage. It is late night, well, not really, 20 past 7 p.m, not too late. You have seen the test is running for 33 hours already. I have charged the battery to 3.35 volt and now we are absorbing. And for the last 13 hours we are stuck on 150 milliamp of charging current. It has not moved. It has not moved. You can see these little steps here in the curve, there, and there's nothing here. This is all 150 milliamps. So I think we have reached a voltage here with 3.35 where the battery will not stop charging until it's totally full. This could take... Should I stop the test? Some people have said if you charge with a too low voltage, the battery will not stop charging and you eventually overcharge the battery without raising the voltage. And I wanted to test this, but I've got so many other tests to run and I need to wait for this to finish now before I can start another test. I have really considered buying another one of these batteries here and used the little tester as well, the 20 amp tester. For other tests I can run here at the same time, because this one here clearly takes weeks, obviously. I don't know. Has anyone ever fully absorbed a battery, a cell at 3.35 volts successfully down to 0 amps? Almost. I mean, here, look at this curve. At the beginning we've done a little discharge, so I had a defined point where I start charging, because I wasn't quite sure if this experiment actually works at this low voltage. And I'm peaking on the capacity down here all the time just to make sure I'm not overcharging the cell. I always want to say battery, but it's a cell. We are talking about a cell, a constant voltage from here, 3.35. This was after less than 3 hours. Less than 3 hours. So we've got 60 here. Yeah, roughly 60 ampere hours here. And then we've got already 70. And let's see how long it takes to get to 80. Oh, a lot longer. A lot longer. Still not. There's 80. Here's 80. And we are still charging with 310 milliamps at this point of time, and now we are at 83. This is all the way. I mean, this was 22 hours ago when we reached 80 ampere hours, and now we are at 83 ampere hours. This is ridiculous. This will never end. And I've got this big tester here running all day long, and the computer and the monitor. Well, it's all running from the battery, so it's fine. The question is, will this battery eventually overcharge or not? I have no idea. This was actually the experiment to find out. Okay, I would say leave the computer running until tomorrow morning. And then we make a decision to turn it off or not. I mean, this is a scenario which you usually don't have in your solar installation, because you're not trickle charging 27 hours. There's always a little bit of darkness in the life of a solar panel where there's no energy being produced. And as well, you have usually a load on your battery. You use a bit of battery, so the next morning it's discharged and then you need to bulk charge it again anyway. But this is just for the test. I just wanted to see if the battery eventually overcharges. But I wasn't aware that this takes so long. Tomorrow morning, last chance. I have set the cutoff to 0.1 amp and we are at 0.15 amps. So we are very close to the cutoff point anyway, but still not there yet. It really could take another couple of days until we reach 0.1 amps. Or maybe we don't reach it at all. I don't know. Well, we are still on 150 milliamps. I don't think it will go down. I'll leave it running until tomorrow morning. I give it another 10 hours or so, 9 hours, and then we will see what's going on and make a decision. And I probably have to repeat this test with the other tester and sit this somewhere in the corner where it can stay for weeks. I just want to really see if the battery will overcharge eventually with such a small load charging current. That's what people say. I don't know if it's true. I need to find out. I need to see it. I need to test it. All right, see you tomorrow morning. Yeah, this was a bit of a surprise this morning that we actually finished the test last night. After 37 hours, the charging test to 3.35 volts, including full absorption, finished. So let's have a quick look at the data. So how long was the absorption time? So this took 34 hours to absorb the battery at 3.35 volts. This is, of course, as I said yesterday or just now in the video, this is nothing you will ever have in reality unless you have hooked up your battery to the grid and you charge it as a UPS, as a power backup. So actually, yeah, there could be a scenario where you set your battery to 3.35 volts and let it absorb. And have a look here at the end of the curve. It went fairly quickly, and 130, 120, 110, and then at the end 100, and then the charger turned off. So we can see a little bump at the end of the curve now. So I'm expecting the curve to continue that actually until 0. So with these settings, I don't think we will overcharge the battery. 3.35 volt constant voltage charging will not overcharge your battery. Just from what I can see at the end here of this curve, how it goes down fairly quickly. See, there was not much happening before that here. 150, and 150 was there for hours and hours and hours, like 20 hours. And then right at the end here of our test, it dipped fairly deep, so the actual cell was saturated and didn't take any more power. So that was a very interesting test actually. I thought it will just keep charging forever, but now it will turn off. And from the capacity we can see 84.33 ampere hours charged into the battery. So we are not pushing more than 100 ampere hours or 110 ampere hours into the battery and will overcharge it. If you have a scenario where you use these lithium iron phosphate batteries as a battery backup, as a UPS for your house or your application, you can actually set it to a 3.35 volts and forget it. This is a bit like the 13.8 volt float charge you can set with lead acid batteries, you know, where you can actually fully charge the battery, but it takes forever. And this is what UPS systems take care of. They usually charge only until the float charging and then call it. And it takes days, weeks until the battery is fully charged. Okay guys, I will save this information as a graph and as the data on my website again. I link this all on my website. I have created a called battery data site on my webpage now, where I present all these tests now with a short description and all the information, all the data. So if you want to download these CSV files or just a graph for your needs to study them, please feel free to do that. If you don't have any of these testers, any of this hardware, you can still just download the software and install it on one of your Windows computers. And then you are able to open these CSV files for a specific test and have a look at the curves. Do a right click on the mouse and then you can see all the data when you go up and down the curve, like I'm showing here. Right click and then you can see all the data at this point of time of the curve. Yeah, it's very interesting. I totally like it. So I'm happy to do all this testing and will present all this information on the website. Alright guys, so far this test from today. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your support here on the channel. Stay charged and safe, and we shall see us again in the next video very soon. Okay guys, thanks for watching again. See you then. Bye bye.